Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of hit a few points here. Uh, I have a lot of friends that actually were really tore up about Anthony Bourdain. To be honest, I heard his name, and that was about as far as it goes for me. But just as a human being who cares about the well-being of other people, such a terrible ordeal. A good friend of mine was a big fan of his, and said it really bothered him. It's just sad to see that so many, and we had 2 celebrity suicides last week. It's a real big shame. I don't know. I mean, I think like 13 out of every 100,000 people in America are killing themselves. It's not a very high rate, but, and I don't know what the answer is either. I mean, I don't think it's bullying, because I think bullying is always going to be around. Not that bullying is good. But one thing that I truly believe is a big issue is, and Ben Shapiro hit on this on his podcast. I think the dissipation of religion in the United States and all over the world, it plays such a large role in the devaluing of human life. I mean, if you don't believe in a higher power, I think it's and especially when you get depressed, I think that for me it would be really difficult if you got depressed to understand there being a higher calling or something along those lines. For me, as a Christian, my value comes from God, and He's the ruler of the universe, and that's pretty incredible. Actually, for those of you who know Ravi Zacharias, he makes the point when I think it's the Pharisees are asking Jesus if it's lawful to pay taxes to Caesar. He asks for a coin, and Jesus says, render unto Caesar that which is Caesar, and render unto God that which is God's. And if they would have asked the follow-up and said, well, which or what is God's, I don't want to presume what Jesus would have said, but I know my question would have been, whose image is on you? I think that's kind of how Ravi put it. And that's pretty deep. God loves us so much that He put His stamp on us, that we are, and our behavior should reflect that, which I would say I'm a big failure of. But when you tend to believe in evolution, you don't believe in God, you can't go back in history and place value on human life. You can't do it. It's just we're time plus matter plus chance. That's it, and that's the end of it. And some people are okay with just knowing that they're going to live 100 years or less, probably less, and die, and that's it. That's hard for me. But anyway, I think that's the fact of the matter is, it's a real shame that people have so little hope, that and people that are, especially people that are that successful. I'm clearly not that successful, but I'm not unhappy. And I don't know how much mental illness plays a role. It's hard. You're welcome to post your thoughts, your disagreements, whatever you have. I also wanted to talk a little bit about tariffs while I'm at talking about sort of current events or whatever. And the tariffs, for anybody that knows anything about economics, tariffs are bad. I'm a big fan of Thomas Sowell, he will. I'm sure you could just YouTube the video and he'll tell you how tariffs are bad. It limits trade, and it's bad for the free market. The more competition, the better. And I really think everybody in Congress, and I would be surprised. I will say, because I don't think Congress is going to try to stop him. And I think President Trump's done a pretty fair job, to say the least, thus far. But this is not a good thing, and I think Congress, for the American people's sake, should stop this. However, I don't think that they will, and I'm sure they'll be worried about backlash, but the American people should send them backlash and not vote them back in office. We should not put up with that. They are elected by us and for us, and not for Donald Trump, and not for his agenda, and not to cater to him because he will throw a fit if he doesn't get his way. That's not how Congress is supposed to work. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. But tariffs are bad. I do want to say that I guess Macron, I think the president of France, made a really big deal about the tariffs, or I believe so. It was something like that. I didn't hear a whole lot about it, but what bothers me is that France has no problems making really garbage deals, as Ben Shapiro put it on his podcast, I think Friday, with Iran. And it's like, we're the United States. Are you getting more from Iran than you are from us? How about you just try to talk some sense into us? But Europe, all of them, I think, are extremely far to the left. So I think their tolerance is probably that of most of the really far left in America, which is a shame. So, yeah, you remember love trumps hate? Yeah, I don't either. But I will say that facts trump feelings. Well, let me know what you think. I can't give anything away because I don't have any money to give away. I have too many kids. Maybe if you share my video and I get bigger, then I'll do something for you. Comment, let me know what you think.